All right, we are now live. I am going to go ahead and share my screen really quickly and let you all know just a couple of pieces as we get started. Thanks so much for being here at the Virtual College Fair. We're super excited. We have the University of Alaska Fairbanks here, admissions, financial aid, residence life, and ROTC. So how do I ask questions? You'll use the Q&A button. So different than Zoom, the regular Zoom that you're on, we're on Zoom webinar. So you can hit the Q&A button and ask any of the questions that you want to in there. And then the presenters will answer those as they come in. Your camera and microphone are off. And so you're muted and your video is off the entire time. So the panelists can't see you and they can't hear you. So the only way for you to interact with them is through the Q&A button. You can absolutely sign up for more sessions and you'll do that on strivescan.com/Alaska. And this is being recorded and the recording will be available within the next week or so. And it'll be on the same website as you registered. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to UAF admissions and let them roll with the presentation. Thanks so much for being here. Look forward to the presentation. Thank you.
Awesome. I hope you folks are doing well. My name is Joel Stone. I'm with the Office of Admissions here at UAF, and myself and Brittany are going to be presenting first, and we're going to transition out to that. Brittany, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Brittany Van Eck. I'm the Acting Associate Director for the Department of Residence Life. I've worked in residence life at UAF for 8 years, and it has been just great. Love this place.
Awesome. And so I'm the admissions counselor that works with a lot of our students here in Fairbanks, as well as a lot of our military and veterans around campus. But that being said, I work with students from all over the state and across the country. So chances are you may have heard from me before, you may not have, but you know, at some point along the path, you probably have heard from an admissions counselor. A lot of what we do is that we help students kind of navigate the university system, getting into schooling and getting started. But you know, we also have experts all across campus, from Anna Kate to Brittany to everyone in the ROTC office that can help you with various different issues that you guys might run into. But that being said, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the admissions process, what that looks like, and some cool stuff that we have on campus, just to give you guys an idea as to, you know, what we have at UAF that makes us kind of unique and what is super fun and awesome about campus. To give you guys just a little bit of background, I'm originally not from Alaska. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I grew up there, and I came up to UAF to study wildlife biology when I turned 18. And I graduated from UAF actually last year in the spring. And so I've been a part of UAF my whole college experience, but I've also truly come to love not only UAF, but Alaska in general, and I've had a lot of fun along the way. One of the really unique things about UAF, and one of the things that I think for me was a really big deal, was not only the heritage and kind of establishment that UAF has within the state, just because we've been around for so long, but also the size of the school. We're actually a pretty small university compared to a lot of other state universities, having right around 5,000 students actually on the campus. Within the school, you have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which means your average class size is only about 10 or 11 students. My senior year of college, I had classes with 4 students in it. And so because of that, you know, you get really good experience with your professors, but you also interact really closely with them, and it really helps accelerate your career afterwards. Personally, I got a job at the Fish and Wildlife Service because of people I knew within the university that got me connected. So it ends up being a really great opportunity for you guys. And beyond that, the university has a lot of, you know, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, this high caliber, this high quality research that goes along with it. We're a world leader in climate change. We do tons of Arctic research. And then we're a land, sea, and space grant institution, which means a lot of the money that we get sent and a lot of the money that is funded to the university is used to do research all over the globe, whether it be the land, sea, or space. So there's tons of opportunities for you to get hands-on learning experience at UAF and really kind of jumpstart into a career while you're still in college. One of the other things that we really like to highlight at UAF, because this is something pretty unique, is that we really do believe that we're a path for everybody. So some students look at UAF or other universities and they see 4-year degrees and master's degrees and PhDs, and that's all they think they got. UAF, we're a little different. So we offer everything from occupational endorsements to PhDs. So regardless of what you think you want to do, chances are we have a path for you. So for some students, they want to get right into trade, they want to get right into the workplace, and that's something that we can help facilitate with occupational endorsements and certificates that get you certified to go into the workplace, like something like automotive technology or diesel and heavy equipment certificates. A step, kind of further than that is some students want to, let's say, fight fires. They want to be a firefighter. The associates in fire science is something that we offer. And so we have these trades and these specializations at our community and technical college, but then for the students that want to go even a step further, we have the bachelor's. We're the only university in the state that offers PhDs. And, we really do want to be a home and a community for everybody. So that said, just to give you guys like a really quick and a really brief rundown of what the college admissions process is like, you end up applying for your schools in the fall usually. As we get towards the spring, some students will apply then. I always say apply during the fall. You send in your transcripts, and then, for fall 2020 and 2021, because of COVID-19, we have waived the SAT or ACT requirements. And if you have more questions about that, feel free to reach out to me directly. But then you send us test scores, and that's kind of all there is to it. After you filled out the application, we start processing it, and we'll start talking to you probably faster than I'm talking right now. And so you get really plugged in, you get really connected, and there's lots of opportunities to ask questions, but that's always something I want to highlight and tell you guys. You should be asking questions the whole way. Don't ever stop asking questions. That's why I work at the university. That's why a lot of us work at the universities, because our goal is to help you guys and answer anything you might want to know about. Some important dates to kind of highlight for you guys. The applications are already open for this spring and next fall. We want to highlight October 1st. That's when the FAFSA opened, and Anna Kate will talk a little bit more about that, I imagine. But I encourage everyone to fill out their FAFSA. A date I forgot to mention on here, and it might be on a future slide, I'm not necessarily sure, but it's the 24th is our Inside Out. That's when we do a campus preview day. So at 10 a.m. starting on the 24th of October, we'll start our Inside Out. You'll kind of have the opportunity to be introduced to everyone on campus, and I encourage everyone to take advantage of that. February 15th is our scholarship deadline. Anna Kate will probably talk more about scholarships as well, but we have hundreds of scholarships that students can apply for that will help fund your college experience. The NANOOK Pledge is one I know Anna Kate is going to talk about. That's another one of our merit scholarships. It's a 4-year recurring merit-based scholarship that can be up to $20,000 for you Alaskan students, which is pretty awesome. And then along with like the APS and the UA Scholars, which deadlines are on the screen now, you guys can end up with tons of funding opportunities that can really set you on a really good foot as you go into college. Hey, I did have a slide on Inside Out. Now I know. So Inside Out is something to learn all about campus. It gets you connected all over the place, and I encourage everyone to take advantage of it. It's an online thing this year, so there is no excuse to not be able to attend. One of the really nice things is that we waive your application fees if you decide to attend this. So I definitely, take advantage of that. But you'll learn about everything about UAF. You'll learn academics, financial aid, living on campus. So me, Anna Kate, and Brittany will probably all be there for that. But it's more intensive. You'll hear more. It's 5 hours, so it's not a 45-minute quick presentation. So you guys really should take advantage of that if you have more questions. So some of the things I actually want to highlight on campus that you guys should really be taking advantage of beyond, what we're going to talk about here is stuff like URSA. So URSA is our Undergraduate Research and Scholarly Activities Office. It's an opportunity for you guys on campus to get research while you're still going to school. For a lot of students, they wonder, is this, only for science majors? Is it only for engineers? URSA is something designed for any student that wants scholarly activity, whether you're an art major, an English major, a biology major, or an engineer. This is going to set you ahead in your field as you're in school. And so what the program works like is you make a proposal for what you want to do, whether it be you want to do research on wolverine in the Northern Arctic, or you want to study art from the southeast of Alaska. You write your proposal, explain how you're going to do it, and you get approved by, or you get sponsored by one of your faculty members. And then you take this proposal to URSA, and they can end up funding you all the way up to, I think, $5,000 is the most they'll do for the summer. And you do that as a research project. And for some students, that pays for plane tickets. For some students, that pays an hourly job for you guys. But it's a great way for you to get papers published as you go into school. So for myself, I had 3 papers published by the time I graduated, and that was a really big deal as I started looking towards going into the wildlife field. I also encourage you guys to take advantage of our honors college. If you're a high achieving student, this is really an opportunity for you. One of the things we like to say is this doesn't end up being more work for you in college, it ends up being more meaningful work. So the stuff that you do ends up having more of an effect. There's scholarship opportunities involved in it, travel and mentoring that all comes along with it. But at the end of the day, what it does is it results in the work that you do while you're in school is much more meaningful, and you really have an impact on your education. With a step further from that, we have the Climate Scholars Academy within it, which ends up being an opportunity for you to study climate change all over Alaska and how it's truly affecting our state. And so if these are things that you guys are interested in, again, reach out to me. I'll have some of my contact information, and I encourage you guys to reach out to me. But take advantage of these things while you're in school. I'm gonna mute myself so I can cough real quick. And awesome. And so the last really big program I always like to highlight is Study Away. And I know during a time of COVID, everyone's a little bit worried about this, but I encourage you guys to take advantage of it while you're in college at some point. Go see another culture, go see another place. It'll really change your mindset. I spent about a month in Laos when I was in my sophomore year, and it really changed the way I saw the world to see how other people lived. And so I encourage you guys to all take advantage of this. Scholarships can potentially go with you. It's available basically to every student as long as you've been at UAF for a year. And so really take advantage, ask me questions if you have any, and I'd love to tell you more about it. And then we have tons of fun stuff on campus. I don't want to go too much longer into Brittany's time, and I want you guys to be curious about these things, but we have stuff like Starvation Gulch where we build these massive bonfires. We have the Festival of Native Arts where we truly try and honor and respect and learn about our native cultures within Alaska, and Springfest where we celebrate before, heading out for the summer. And so there's tons of fun stuff to do on campus, tons of fun stuff to get involved in, whether it's outdoor adventures, getting involved in NANOOK recreation, skiing at, ski land, or doing kayaking trips and hiking trips down to Denali through something like Wilderness or NANOOK Recreation, who helps facilitate all of that. There's tons of events like our sports, our teams, whether it be our hockey, our rifle, cross-country skiing, running, basketball, tons of stuff for you guys to get involved in and participate in. And I encourage you guys to all take advantage of that. And since I'm a little bit over in time, I won't elaborate too much more, but I'm going to leave this slide up here for at least 10 seconds and steal all that time from Brittany so that I can show you guys my contact information. At the bottom is our office as well as my personal information. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to talk to you or connect you with someone who might be able to help you out more if I can't. But with all of that said, Brittany, I'll pass it over to you and let you kind of take off.
Awesome. Thanks, Joel. All right. So for Residence Life, just some quick highlights of it. I know that for some folks, if you think about on-campus living, it's really easy just to think like this is just where I'm going to stay or just where I'm going to sleep while I study. But at UAF, we really have a more holistic view of your time on campus, knowing that college is such an important time to every person's development. I think Joel got to share a ton of his experiences that I would bet some money at least that he didn't expect to participate in. And so knowing that so much of your time is spent outside of the classroom, we really want to capitalize on that and figure out ways to connect students with finding their sense of belonging, their passions, what they are really interested while they participate in UAF's campus. So kind of starting out with that, our philosophy of involvement in the Department of Residence Life at UAF is called Knowing, Connecting, and Empowering. And with that, our goal is for students to know themselves and know others, to connect with both the on-campus and the off-campus community, and to empower them not only to act like within their own like sphere of influence and their own like emotions and mental capacity, but also empower them to act not only in their like current community, but outside in the world. And so that's really what our philosophy is based on as far as what we offer for involvement, how we structure our programs and events. Even when we're looking at how we're developing policies, it's all connected on that. And so that's really like what we're all about. With that, some things that I'd just like to highlight in my limited time, and please come visit me at Inside Out too, are our living learning communities. Living learning communities are common at colleges and universities across the nation. And at UAF, we launched these in the fall of 2019. So this is just our second year and they're going so well. And what there are essentially is you're living in a community, so close proximity with folks who are interested in specific subjects. So something you're studying, such as like engineering, or if you're really interested in getting to know and be involved in like Alaska outdoor activities, you could choose outdoor adventures. And so the 5 that we have are all available for first year students. And they're engineering, gender diversity, honors, impact, which is more of a social justice LLC, and then outdoor adventures. And they all have intentional like faculty or staff partnerships where we plan programs and events, give opportunities, discounted pricing. So they're really, really awesome. They're great ways to get involved and meet people who are interested in the same things that you are, and they fill up fast. So I say that our applications, I'll show you this later too, they're available early 2021. And those LLCs have limited spots and they do fill up quickly. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely get in there right away. We also have intentional staffing, like I said, to make those connections. I went to school, my master's is in higher education, and you'll find that a lot of our staff is in the same place. Again, because we want to specifically work with college students and specifically connect them to their passions. And so resident directors are full-time professional staff that actually live in the building and oversee the student staff to make sure that you all have the community where you can grow and develop as an individual. We have some student staff positions. We have resident assistants who are peers that live on your floor. And actually, Joel was a resident assistant, just to throw that out there for us. He did a wonderful job. And so just having those students and those peer leaders for you to connect with who have been through exactly what you've been through very recently is so important. We have peer mentors who are student tutors that live in the first year hall specifically. And again, knowing that like transition is hard, that it's super cold out. And so if you want a student tutor that's available to you in the exact same building that you live in, we've definitely got you covered there. And then we also have a position called NANOOK concierge who can check out like vacuums, equipment, who can answer general questions and is really just available at a desk when our main office is closed. And then outside of that, we have a ton of professional staff, again, who are here to support you from any maintenance needs, if a dryer is broken or your light goes out, to if you're feeling homesick and you need connection, all the way to if you don't know how to approach someone about like scholarships or having like, you just want some advocacy with like faculty, anything like that, we're here to help you all with. All right, you can go to the next slide. Thanks, Joel. So now that I always appreciate pictures and I feel like other folks just want to know what the rooms look like. And so the bottom left corner is called the Moore Bartlett Scarland Complex. The 2 halls for first year students are Moore and Scarland. And so they're the ones on the left and the right. Moore is the tall one, so it has 7 floors and Scarland has 3. They both have 27 rooms per floor. Currently during COVID, we're not doing any roommates, but typically you have 3 room type options. So you can choose a single room, which is a small room to yourself, a double room, which is on the bottom right, you can see that. So it has 2 of like all pieces of furniture, the beds, the dressers, desks, and the wardrobes. Or if you pay, and they're all different pricing, if you pay a bit more, you can pay for that double room with 2 of everything and just have it yourself. So when you see kind of that layout and the price structure, that's kind of what you're looking at for those options. And so the rooms, they can look a little different. Scarland Hall was recently renovated. That's where most of the living learning communities are. So it looks a little bit different, but that's a typical room. And then as you move up, so after your first year, you can move into suites, or we also have full apartments. So there's quite a few options, as well as we have options for employee, a family, and graduate. So if you have any dependents you're living with, we have apartments available as well. All right, you can go to the next one. Okay, and so lastly, like I said, we are so much more than just a place to stay, but we do provide you a place to stay. So the rooms are all furnished. We do have Wi-Fi and free laundry. We do have the activities and the events, and then we also are really focused on your success as an individual. So if you come to live on campus, you can expect to build relationships and connections with peers and professional staff who super care about how you're going to do in school and really want to connect with you and give you the opportunities that you want to participate in. So that's a huge hallmark of UAF, and that's a huge hallmark of UAF Residence Life. So we hope you'll come visit us. And if you do have any more questions, you can find my information on the website, or you can email our general housing email. And that's it for me.
Awesome. And I think Anna Kate is going to be taken over from here. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. And if everything falls apart, we apologize. Hopefully it won't. But Anna Kate, you are up.
Okay, sorry, I realized that I did mute. Okay, so I work for financial aid at UAF, and I just wanted to spend a few minutes just giving you a really quick overview of what financial aid is in general and what it looks like at UAF. So first off, what is financial aid? It is any kind of money that you earn or are given in order to help pay for school or tuition. So not only tuition, but also room and housing, as well as buying your books, buying your food, grocery shopping, to buying that big winter jacket that you'll need when you're living up here in Fairbanks. So any school related item. So that can look like, it comes in the forms of scholarships, grants, loans, and federal works study. So scholarships and grants are both free money that you don't have to pay back. Scholarships can be merit or need-based, or both. Grants are all need-based. Loans are not need-based or merit-based, but you can qualify. The amount of the loan is tied to how much you do need. And federal work study is need-based. So the short answer for what's the difference between federal work study and a student job is federal work study, there's a set amount of money that you can work for in a part-time study job to earn that money. And a student job, you're just gonna work those hours and earn what you earn. All right, so I want to spend a lot of time talking about scholarships because that's everybody's favorite. So the first one Joel mentioned is the NANOOK Pledge. It's a 4-year scholarship for incoming first year and transfer students. And depending on it's based on your GPA and test scores, but as Joel mentioned, the test scores for the next academic year are waived. So it's looking at based off of your GPA. So you will get either $3,000 or $5,000 depending on how you qualify, if you qualify. And what's really neat about the NANOOK Pledge is you don't actually have to fill out any extra application. Your application goes in when you apply to UAF, as long as you apply by June 15th for the fall or November 1st for the spring. And then in order to, once you are awarded that, in order to maintain it, you do need to be enrolled in a bachelor's program, taking full-time classes, which means 12 credits or typically 4 classes, as well as 1 in-person class. But this year we waived that requirement because of COVID. So. All right, so UA Foundation scholarships, those are the ones that Joel mentioned that you have 1 application and it applies you to over 400 scholarships. They're both merit and need-based. And what's really great is you don't have to go through our list of scholarships saying, I think I qualify for this one, maybe I'll apply for that one. You just have to fill out 1 application and then we will automatically sort you into all of the scholarships that you qualify for. And the deadline for that is February 15th. UA Scholars, you might be familiar with it. The important things to remember is you need to apply to UAF by May 1st or any UA school by May 1st in order to keep that. It's awarded to the top 10% of your graduating high school class. It's 4 years of aid, just like the NANOOK Pledge is. And the eligibility requirements are very similar to the NANOOK Pledge and Alaska Performance Scholarship. So those eligibility requirements are pretty much the same. This one is also based off of your GPA and test scores, but the test scores are not waived for APS for next year at this point in time. as well as taking required high school courses. There's 3 different levels of awards, and you need to fill out the FAFSA by June 30th every year that you attend school. So speaking of the FAFSA, you might be like, what is the FAFSA? Well, it stands for a free application for federal student aid. And as Joel said, it did open October 1st. So you really want to apply as soon as possible because there is first come, first serve aid. It's usually the grants. So if you apply now, then if you're eligible for those grants, then you have a higher likelihood of being awarded those grants. So the FAFSA calculates your family's ability to help pay for your school and assesses your financial need based off of personal and financial information that you input into the FAFSA using tax information, as well as what you have in your funds at that point when you fill out your FAFSA. And it determines if you're eligible for grants and your loan amounts for that academic year. So where to fill it out, you can fill it out either online or on the mobile app, or there's a paper application. It's not the favorite. The best way to do it is either online or the mobile app. People are often afraid of the FAFSA because it can be maybe confusing, but online is the best way because it has hints to give you help along the way. So you might think, gosh, what if I have change in circumstances? The biggest one is if there's been COVID-19 changes, job layoffs, you've had a financial difference. We can definitely help you with a review of special circumstances to make sure that the picture that you have is the most accurate. I'm almost out of time. So if you have any questions, write these dates down. I'm going to be available every other Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. And you can write my email address down, and I will be on Zoom hanging out for that hour. You can log in and ask me any questions. You could, if you have a question on the FAFSA, if you have a question on scholarships, all of those things, I'm happy to help. You can also find out more on our website. There's a couple of neat things. You can calculate your financial aid. You can estimate what you would get here at UAF. And you can also learn how to apply for aid. It can be really hard, or it can be a little confusing if you're completely new to it. Our website's a really great resource, as well as us. We love to be here. I'm one of many financial aid advisors in our office. We're here to help you with questions and talk about your options for paying for school. So there is our contact information. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Daryl Jarman. I am the recruiter for the Army ROTC program. And I want to say congratulations to all of you for getting to this stage in your life and preparing for that great career in college that's next. I represent the university's Army ROTC program. We are the only senior level, college level Army ROTC program in the state. So we're headquartered here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. And we also have campus representation at UAA. I would like to introduce myself as well as other folks on the panel today from our program. Let them go ahead and just introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Virginia Stepanek. I sit here on the Fairbanks campus, and I am the professor of military science responsible for both campus programs.
Good evening. My name is Major Brent Pfeiffer, and I am the Assistant Professor of Military Science, and I'm also located on the Fairbanks campus.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and go over a couple quick things about scholarships, and once I'm done, the professor, Lieutenant Colonel Stepanek, will come back in and close this out with some interesting things about what you can expect from the program. As stated before, Army ROTC prepares you to become an officer in the Army, and the officers are the men and women who actually lead the Army. The requirement is that you have a college degree and some leadership skills. We're going to help you with both. So we look forward to having you in the program. Some of the key traits of the folks we produce, they are physically fit, mentally tough, and competent, and actually ready to step into a leadership position as soon as they leave here. If that's you, please give us a call. Now, the scholarship opportunities break out into two interesting groups. We have our national scholarship and our campus-based scholarship. So we encourage all students that are intending to participate in our program to apply for the national scholarship. That process is going on right now. And with that opportunity, you have a shot at getting a 4-year scholarship right here to UAF or UAA. And the benefits are amazing. First and foremost, I'd like to point out that 100% of your tuition and fees or your room and board is covered. At the same time, you'll receive a stipend of $420 a month, and you'll also get book funds to the tune of about $1,200 a year. And now, as I stated before, there are two main types: the national scholarship and the campus-based scholarship. There's a third type, the Minuteman Scholarship. I'll cover that last. But the national scholarship is for qualified high school students, and those high school students that are planning to attend a 4-year college. It doesn't work for a junior college, but the process is very simple. So we want to give you some information on how to apply for that. The campus-based scholarship is what we retain here at our program. We're allowed to go in and offer scholarships as well to those interested students, in addition to those opportunities on the national level. And the Minuteman Scholarship is the same scholarship as the other two, with one stipulation: you've got to join either the National Guard or the Reserves upon finishing. Actually, in the middle of learning in our program, you'll join that program as well, the National Guard or the Reserves. Okay. The scholarship has some pretty basic requirements, and I don't know if you can see the slide or not, but of course you must be a citizen, and you must be at least 18 years old, and between 18 and 26. There's a GPA requirement of 2.5. It's not too hard. And of course, on the SAT, we're looking for at least a 1,000, on the ACT 19. Of course, we have to meet some physical requirements as well. We have 3 opportunities for the national scholarship through the year. You do your application once, and it gets looked at 3 times. The first is coming up this month, actually, October 19th through the 23rd. We're taking a look at those students who have actually applied already. The next review board will be in January, and the one following that will be in March. You don't have to reapply. It's a one-time application, and if you're not selected the first time, you get carried over. I would like to point out that if you've applied for the national and you do not get accepted, that's primarily where we go in to make our selection for those folks for our campus-based scholarships. It's one of the primary places we go. So get in there and apply for that thing. There are 4 simple steps. You've got to submit your transcripts. You've got to actually do an online application. You're going to do a physical fitness test, very minimal. And finally, you'll interview with Lieutenant Colonel Sapanik, who will assess your potential as an officer and a quality student. And as I mentioned before, we have the Minuteman Scholarship, the same requirements with the addition of a National Guard or Reserve component commitment. The Minuteman Scholarship is the same benefits, just the additional requirement. That additional requirement seems to work for some folks because they get on-the-job training with an actual unit throughout their college career, and at the same time, they know exactly where they're going when they leave. So they're just hit the ground running when they leave here. It's a great option. Now, here's some great benefits. You get leadership training. Of course, we have internships, not just across the state of Alaska and not just across the United States, but these are worldwide opportunities. We've had students travel to foreign countries as far away as Vietnam and Africa to get on-the-job training and special experience and cultural examples of how they may be used in the future. And there are military opportunities. If you're interested in jumping out of planes or rappelling from helicopters or Arctic mountain training, that is available to our cadets as well. And this is the same training that active duty soldiers get. So it's a lifetime experience. Finally, you get to graduate and step into a job. Nowhere else can guarantee that you're going to leave here and become a leader in tomorrow and in today's Army. Thank you very much for your time. I'll be followed by Lieutenant Colonel Stepanek.
Lieutenant Colonel, it looks like your mic didn't unmute.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity to let us provide you with a quick overview of our scholarships, which Daryl did a great job explaining. And then lastly, I wanted to end with the opportunity to kind of give you a brief overview of our program. So as I had mentioned before, I am the professor of military science, so I am responsible for both programs on the Fairbanks campus as well as the Anchorage campus. So my team consists of myself, a senior military science instructor. We are both here on the Fairbanks campus, and both campuses has an assistant professor of military science. So you've all met Major Brent Pfeiffer, and he's my assistant here on campus in Fairbanks. And then I also have 3 civilian support staff that provide support to our cadets, as well as my cadre team. On the Anchorage campus, we have the assistant professor of military science, who's Major Krista Paul, and her military science instructor is Sergeant First Class Daryl Palembis. You know, really the big takeaway from this slide here is just to give you an understanding of how, you know, big or small our program is, however you want to take that. We currently have approximately 60 cadets assigned to our program with an even split of 30 per campus. So you can see the breakdown here by class of our cadets. So the other thing that I wanted to discuss with you is really what you get out of military science, out of the military science program. So all of our cadets will earn a military science or a minor in military science. And this is a breakdown by year of the required classes that you're required to enroll in as a ROTC cadet. The first 2 years consist of the Military Science 100 and 200 level course, which is open to all students on campus. So anybody that's interested in just kind of getting an understanding of our program and see if it's something they're interested in pursuing can sign up for this class. Once you move into the advanced course, which consists of the 300 and 400 level course, that is by contracted cadets only. So at that point, all of our cadets are committed and contracted in our program. So you're required to take a military science course each year, both semesters, as well as one military history course, which you can take essentially any year. We currently have freshmen through seniors enrolled in our history course during the fall semester. There you can see also the number of credits that you can earn for each of those courses, and they're progressive just like any other course, starting at 2 credit hours and progressing all the way to 4 credit hours by the time you're in the advanced course. For summer training, there are some opportunities during the summer for you to attend either basic camp, which this typically is only for those students that we call lateral entry. So if they're coming in either as a sophomore or maybe interested in coming in as a junior, then they will attend a basic camp at Fort Knox, Kentucky. It's a month-long course, so that is an option. And then for our advanced course cadets, you're required to attend summer advanced camp training, which is at Fort Knox as well. And that happens between your junior and senior year of college. The other opportunities that we have is, again, this is strictly optional. We have cadets that compete every year to attend some of the military training that Mr. Jarman had mentioned in his previous brief. We also wanted to show you just what the typical schedule of our cadets look like. And this is just our Fairbanks campus. We always have students ask what our cadets are required to attend. And so you can see here, this is a typical week for us. PT happens, physical training happens 3 times a week from Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 6:30 to 7:30. We do this once, for 1 hour for 3 days a week. And then depending on the level that you're in, if whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, you'll take 1 to 2 classes a week with your instructor, which Major Brent Pfeiffer teaches currently our freshmen and sophomores and juniors. And then I teach the MS4s in the advanced course, and then our military history course. So this is what the classes look like now. And so it's minimal amount of the time. And again, you can have any degree that you're studying. Our course again is just complements what you're doing, and it can also be you can also pursue this as a minor in military science. Here's some of our summer training opportunities, which we kind of touched on lightly. Basic camp, again, is for our lateral entry students or those that are not able to complete the 100 or 200 level course. So cadets all over the country will attend this basic camp to get an understanding of what life as a leader in the Army entails. Anything from introduction to squad operations, basic rifle marksmanship skill, and just really just understanding the basic fundamentals of Army leadership. The advanced course or advanced camp at Fort Knox is mandatory training that happens between your junior and senior year. And again, like this was previously a 37-day model. It's now a 35-day model due to COVID, but just minor adjustments that we've had to make for training. And then the section that I have here in red, the cadet professional development, these again are opportunities that students are not obligated to take, but have the opportunity to compete for opportunities to train with active duty units. So this is a key opportunity for cadets to learn those leadership skills while they're a student. And cadet troop leader training is a very popular one that cadets typically will be able to participate in following advanced camp. And they have that opportunity to shadow a lieutenant, typically a platoon leader, for a period of 3 to 4 weeks. And then we also have the opportunities, which all of you may be familiar with, as you likely hear about these types of schools, but airborne school, air assault school. Here in Alaska, we have the basic mountaineering course, which every summer we host, various amounts of cadets here at Fort Greeley. So that's an opportunity that you have. And then another big opportunity is the internship. So Cadet Command offers over 500 internships every year. Last year, we didn't have the opportunity due to COVID, but we anticipate having this opportunity this upcoming summer. But cadets have the opportunities to work anywhere here in the United States, just based on what their academic preferences are, or just with the Department of Defense in general. Last year, we had cadets, or 2 years ago, we had cadets that participated in internships with the Corps of Engineers in Louisiana. We had cadets that participated in cadet troop leading, the cadet troop leader training at Fort Irwin, California. So opportunities are out there for those cadets that are willing and able to participate. And then lastly, second lieutenant development. So upon graduation, our students are immediately commissioned, and those that are commissioned onto active duty will typically go back to Fort Knox, Kentucky to participate and support cadet summer training. They also have the opportunity to compete for a slot to stay here at the campus for a short amount of time to serve as a gold bar recruiter. So just again, wanting to provide you with an understanding of the opportunities that you have if you join our program. Again, you can pursue competing for a scholarship within our program, or you can come in as a non-scholarship student. The opportunities are there. If you're interested, just please reach out to Mr. Daryl Jarman, any of our PMSs, assistant PMSs, or myself, and we'll be happy to answer more questions or meet with you one-on-one via Zoom or over phone call. And you can see Mr. Jarman has his contact information there listed for you to take down, and look forward to meeting all of you or meeting and discussing this further with any interested.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. I am just going to share one final screen to make sure that all the participants know. Thank you so much to the University of Alaska Fairbanks admissions, financial aid, residence life, and ROTC for being here today. We really appreciate it. Oops, that's the wrong slide. There you go. Thank you so much for joining us. There's going to be a quick survey when the window closes. Again, you can sign up for more sessions at strivescan.com/Alaska. And all of these recordings will be available. So thank you so much for participating. Sign up for more sessions, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.